What's going on? It's your boy CJ Goodfella. We back with that real boxing talk. It's the real thing. Guess it's late night grind, you dig? And this is just a hypothetical. I seen Trap House Boxing do a couple great hypotheticals. Boxing match he did Algeria versus Broner, which will be absolutely great crossroads fights for both of those guys at 140 or 147. Also did Daniel Jacobs and Jamal Charlo. I think I did that a couple months back. But shout out to Trap House Boxing. Doing great work. Keep it up, young fella. Probably old fella. No offense though, but Shawn Porter's gonna turn around and fight Thomas Delorme in 2 weeks now, August 26th, and then he wants to do a quick turnaround after that and fight Danny Garcia, but it seems like Danny Garcia might go the Luis Collazo route. Remember I told y'all dudes like a month or two ago, maybe Collazo or Jesse Vargas, and I'll get to Jesse Vargas in a minute. So if the WBC, if Garcia doesn't want to be the fight for the WBC interim title belt, then they go down the line. It'll be Manny Pacquiao, I believe, and then after Manny Pacquiao, it's somebody else. I think it's Jesse Vargas. Yes, I think it's Pacquiao. Jesse Vargas in WBC rankings. Don't quote me on that. Well, Jesse's going through a contract dispute with Top Rank, and then it's Konstantin Pulimov, who's fighting for the number one contender status for Errol Smith's belt through the IBF versus somebody. And then it's a couple other unknown commodities. I think Carlos Molina, maybe Diego Chavez might be. Diego Chavez, I think, is in there. With Carlos Molina, it's another unknown guy. And then it will be Lucas Matisse. Lamont Peterson isn't ranked in the WBC. So if it's for the interim, bout for the right to fight Keith Thurman, then I don't know if Shawn Porter wants to take this fight. But a lot of people are tied up. So, he might be able to take a fight and still, be the mandatory to Keith Thurman. Because he's the mandatory after beating Andre Berto, so he's number one. So maybe this could happen. It makes sense. Lamont Peterson said before the David Averesian fight, he wanted to fight like 4 more times. If it was 4 years, one time every year for 4 years or however it was, he only wants to fight 4 more times. He was even willing to go up to 160 or 154 to get a fight. So, why not fight Shawn Porter? It makes sense. If he beat Shawn Porter, maybe the WBC might rank him a little bit higher. He could potentially get Keith Thurman, which people think he has a chance at beating Keith Thurman because he's one of the best body punchers in the world. I think he's probably top 3 behind, Spence, Golovkin, and then probably him, with the body work. But I think this would be a good fight. I think it's a winnable fight on both sides. Like I told you guys, I thought Delorme has a shot to be Shawn Porter. And if I was a betting man on boxing, if the odds are in, 5-1, 6-1, 7-1 range or some shit like that, I probably would put money on Thomas Delorme because he has some skills. And, Porter doesn't carry a punch like that. But he probably carries enough punch to knock out Thomas Delorme. But if I was a betting man, I would like those odds. Plus, with Delorme's size and reach and boxing ability, I'd take them chances for a 10-rounder fight. Now, if it was 12, I'd be all in. I wouldn't even touch it. But 10 rounds, I think Delorme could do some things. But as far as Lamont Peterson and Shawn Porter, I think it'll be an excellent fight, for the fans. Shawn fights rugged, dirty, and rough. Not one of the most fantastic guys to watch. It's not very pretty or vivid to watch Shawn Porter fight, even if you're watching in 4K. But it's not one of my favorite guys to watch, but he's a slugger. And I think Lamont Peterson has the ability to, slug with him. Like I told you, Shawn Porter's not the biggest puncher, neither is Lamont Peterson. But Lamont Peterson can fight on the inside, mid-range, and outside. He's the more versatile fighter here. But, you need one dimension to beat some guys. But that would make the intrigue right there. I think Lamont Peterson body work would be excellent versus Shawn Porter. I think he would have a movement and a jab to bother Porter, and I think Porter will have a physical strength to match up with Lamont Peterson well. But I don't think Lamont Peterson will let Shawn bully him like Berto did. I think Peterson has a better idea how to execute his game plan that Barry Hunter sets out for him. And I think, Barry Hunter versus, Barry Hunter versus Kenny Porter, pretty sure they're familiar with each other being in USA boxing. I would love to see this fight, especially from the boxing coach's standpoint, the tactical adjustments from round to round. And, don't hurt that, Lamont has the regular WBA title, and he's technically the mandatory for the Super WBA title that is held by Keith Thurman. So either way, Shawn Porter can get Keith Thurman. If he wants to fight an interim bout versus little unknown Carlos Molina, Diego Chavez, or something like that, or he can sit back, fight Lamont Peterson, and be number one in WBC and be the number one in WBA. And more than likely, Keith Thurman would have to get him out the way. And I guess in a return tune-up fight or after Earl Spence fight at the end of 2018. So he aligned himself up really, really well for that. And I think it's an excellent fight. I think the styles will mesh pretty well because of Lamont Peterson's versatility and boxing skills. This ain't Berto. I think Lamont will definitely know what to do with that aggressive style and try to execute it. And I think, Shawn being Shawn, he's going to try to bring the pain and bring the fight to Lamont Peterson. And I think it's a fight that a lot of people low-key was talking about a couple months ago. And, I would love it, This is going to be a main event, a co-feature. It could be a lot of things, you know what I mean? They can put this fight on the Deontay Wilder-Luis Ortiz card if it happened, or they could put it as the main event if Wilder can't get a buyout from Burbanks to Vern and everybody be happy, but we gone.